everyone, this is Dr. Liv with New Insight, and thank you so much for joining me in another video. In today's video, I will be discussing 2 faulty thinking patterns that don't look toxic at first, but they quietly keep people stuck in relationships that are hurting them. These 2 thinking patterns aren't obvious red flags. However, they're subtle ways people justify staying in toxic relationships, minimizing harm, and talking themselves out of their own reality. If you've ever felt confused or are constantly second-guessing yourself or your relationship, this video is for you. The first faulty thinking pattern is called emotional justification, also known as over-identification. This faulty thinking pattern tells you to stay with a person because you understand their trauma, relate to their pain, or you can see why they behave the way they do. You may say things like, "I know why they're like this. They've been through so much. If I leave, I'm abandoning them." Please understand that just because you can relate to a person's story, sympathize, empathize, or understand them does not mean you have to stay in a toxic or unhealthy relationship. However, this faulty thinking pattern will convince you that you do. Your thoughts will tell you you're all the person has. They can't make it without you, and you can't make it without him or her. And you're the only person who truly gets them. You then become hyper-focused on fixing or healing the person, and also focused on the 3 P's, which is pleasing, proving, and performing to keep them happy. You avoid and dismiss your own needs. You'll convince yourself that the bare minimum is sufficient and mistake crumbs for a full course meal. You'll abandon yourself. You'll find a reason for every toxic behavior the person has, and you'll justify all of this. This mindset blinds you and twists your thinking because you will ignore and dismiss the facts and override logical reasoning, only focused on emotions. And it is true that there may be real valid reasons for the person's dysfunctional behavior, but that does not justify the behavior, nor does it mean you have to accept or tolerate it. Even if you have insecurities, low self-esteem, low self-confidence, you must also have limits. You must have the self-awareness to know the difference between a healthy versus unhealthy relationship and know the signs of psychological abuse. Your love and loyalty cannot change anyone. The second type of faulty thinking pattern is called intentional excuse making. This faulty thinking pattern tells you that someone's intentions matters more than the impact of their behavior. You may say things like, "They don't mean to hurt me. Their heart is in the right place. They're trying." Please understand that good intentions do not cancel out harmful impact. Just because someone means well does not mean their actions aren't hurtful, disrespectful, or damaging. And whether the person agrees with you or how you feel or not, if you tell someone that you were hurt or disrespected by their behavior, the appropriate response is accountability, acknowledging your feelings, validating your feelings, offering a sincere apology, and making corrective changes. And that may require greater self-awareness and mindfulness. Never stay in toxic situations simply because you believe someone's intentions isn't to hurt you. The reality is they are hurting you. And when a person repeatedly fails to take accountability, shows no genuine remorse, and makes no real effort to change, you must accept what is and not what you hope, need, or wish it would become. Healing requires dealing with reality, which is the real, not the ideal. And regardless of intention, patterns of lying, cheating, emotional or physical abuse, control, manipulation, inconsistency, or emotional unavailability are not healthy. Call it what it is. This is not love. This is not safe. And this is not what you deserve. You cannot change anyone, and you are not responsible for their behavior. And yes, people can trigger one another, but no one can make another person lie, cheat, abuse, or manipulate. We are all responsible for our own choices and actions. Intentions are meaningless when behavior consistently contradicts them. When words say one thing and actions repeatedly show another, that is not confusion. That is dishonesty and manipulation. Please learn to challenge and change these two faulty thinking patterns, because they can cost you your mental health and your life when dealing with toxic and manipulative people. Awareness is the first step out. Once you see these two thought traps clearly, you can no longer unsee them. You don't need more proof, more time, or more explanations. What you need is honesty with yourself and the courage to move forward. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.